I second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the minutes have been approved. Sallie Neuin from the Treasurer's Office will now give a report.
Okay. Receipts 514 and 515. They're $2,373,153.50. That brings the total of cash $8,030,324.96. Expenditures $6,908,007.51. And tax claim $71,998.45. And cash balance of 515 is $1,050,319.
Even. Okay, and just so that you know, that expense number is very high this week, but that's because we have assigned money to 3 payrolls for the rest of the year, one for September 5th and 2 in October for the 3rd and the 31st. So we actually assigned $4,350,000 for those 3 payrolls. So that's why that expense number is so high, because I have to take it out of that general fund to invest it.
And
So-
you're saying we have all of our payrolls
No,
covered
not
now?
yet. We
How
still
many
have
more?
November and December.
November and December.
Yeah.
2 more to go.
2 more to go, but we do have our debt service covered already, so we're getting there.
Good.
Trans
And-
paid off, the debt savings
Yep.
is covered, and we have two to cover yet.
Yep.
So we're pretty good about that.
So, and with a balance of $1 million here in our account, even if we get the insurance bill next week, we should be okay. But
Thank-
the interest rates, just for your information, Fulton is at 0.15, Metro's 0.30, and Jonestown is 0.32.
All right, motion to approve of the Treasurer's report.
I so move.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the Treasurer's report is passed.
And I forgot to tell Marjorie about the red.
Not wearing the red.
Why don't you wear red?
I still didn't understand.
Why don't you wear red?
Why don't I wear red? Am I
No,
supposed to?
red means we're dead.
Oh.
Wearing the black
Oh.
is good.
Oh, yeah.
I was confused. Thank you for covering for me there.
John knows.
I actually learned that from the previous treasurer. I think I used
Yeah, just a little inside.
All right, Lebanon County Human Resources.
Good morning. This week at the municipal building and elsewhere, under resignations and terminations, Constance Walker, DJ Clerk at MDJ Dissinger's office, will retire effective June 8th. Candace Carpenter, General Clerk C in the Clerk of Court's office, resigned for personal reasons effective May 7th. Tammy Hartman Hankins, Victim Witness Coordinator in the District Attorney's Office, resigned for personal reasons effective May 10th. Jonathan Swisher, IT Tech 1 from MIS, is resigning for other employment effective May 29th. James Painter, Child Abuse Investigator from Children and Youth, is resigning for other employment effective 5/31.
Could
May
we?
I make a request that we consider Ms. Carpenter's resignation alone, please?
Sure.
Separate vote.
I motion to do so.
I don't think we had to make a motion to do it separate, but that's okay.
Good.
So,
As long as we all agree, concur.
Well, you can either ask for a motion to act on Candace Carpenter, or you can ask, do a motion to vote all the rest of them, and we'll do her separate.
okay, a motion to act on Candace Carpenter.
I motion to do that. Move to do so. Yeah.
Second.
And
Alright.
is there discussion on this particular one?
Well, I'm inclined to vote no on this resignation due to the circumstances that the resignation came about. So that's why I asked for a separate motion for that.
So I should ask all those in favor? Okay. All those in favor?
No? No? Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing 2 oppositions, then it is not passed.
I'd like to make a comment. I was wondering if in this instance, in the past, we had terminated someone and then the union kind of made us reverse the decision and we were responsible for all the back pay. And I was wondering if we could ask for an opinion on this one before we actually, we can always change that at the next meeting, but I'd like to get that opinion and be proactive rather than reactive, if that's okay.
Well, we don't need an action to do that. Is that correct, Jamie?
No. However, you've taken action on
Right, but I'm saying she's asking for an opinion, so.
The reason for the no vote was to ask for an opinion.
Well, I mean, so I'm just need a little more clarification, I guess. You took action not to accept the resignation, that's correct. So you're asking for an opinion, then what's the purpose of the opinion?
Well, for instance, in Dawn's office, we had not filled a position, and then we are trying to remember all the circumstances, but at any rate, it went to arbitration or court or something, and we were told to reinstate the person that we had terminated. And so I want to make sure that in this instance, if we are terminating prematurely, maybe we should ask for that up front and get them to review it and make sure.
This was a resignation.
This was a resignation.
This is the difference. This was a resignation. And it's not being grieved in this. I mean, it was a resignation.
Okay.
I still need clarification of what's being asked of the opinion.
If they would review it and make sure that we're doing it right.
The union, right?
Yeah.
No, the union. Resignation.
It was a resignation.
Okay.
That's,
I mean, I'm at a little bit of a crossroads here myself as to how do you not accept a resignation? That's, if someone chooses to resign, how do you say, no, you have to stay?
Well, I'm not inclined to change my vote. I feel strongly about it. I think that the history that led to the resignation was unfortunate, and there were some difficulties, and I just, that's my position. So I realize it's cumbersome, but that's where I am.
Okay, so without an action to accept the resignation, the Controller's Office, Bob, I've been incorrect here, but the Controller's Office will continue to have the person on the payroll because there won't be any separation.
Right.
So the person's not going to attend,
Right, but still get paid.
but will still remain on the payroll.
Resign, but we'll still get paid.
Yeah. So that's the quandary we're in, I suppose. And I don't know what to ask the solicitor to opine on, to give advice on whether or not you can not accept the resignation. You already did.
But I think she asked that we reconsider that resignation, and that's why I voted no, and to ask the union to give us, their feedback, and the solicitor to give us his feedback, and then next time I can make a more informed decision.
I think we have a responsibility here, someone, either a person that's head of the department where she worked, to reach out to Candy and to welcome her back into her position. That's where I am. You want to recognize Ms.
Yes,
Arns?
ma'am.
Commissioners, I would like to have you reconsider the verbal resignation that came from Ms. Carpenter. I don't think you have the idea of what occurred in the office at the time and what numerous people heard in my office. And I had two outside people that were public, people that were doing searches that were in my office. I think a verbal resignation is appropriate. She chose to do that. She has not reached out to me, as apparently maybe she has reached out to you, to come back into the office. And I think you would also have to read part of our rules and regulations that if someone does not report to work on the 3 days in a row, that the office holder has the right to terminate that employee, and if they do not call in. So I think we have to look at that situation. I have not heard from Ms. Carpenter, and if you have, I have not heard that from the Human Resources.
So you're recommending termination?
She verbally said she quit. She left my office. I immediately called the Human Resources. I spoke to Ms. Nguyen, and apparently she was already up with someone from there and handing in her key and her card. So that's where we're at. And I was instructed then to do a letter that she verbally said in front of me and some other people that she quit.
And if she had a second opinion that she didn't, that she asked us to reconsider, would you
She
still
has to
recommend
come to me.
termination?
She has to come to me. I hire and fire my people.
And that's why I'm asking, are you recommending termination?
At the time when she said to me that she quit, I wrote the verbal letter that she quit. She has not reached out to me that she wanted to come back. And I'm not going to give you hearsay, but apparently, I don't know if she is looking to better herself. She always has been looking to better herself for employment and for money. And you would know that because there was a grievance filed when she went to apply for a job with the Public Defender's Office. And she chose not to then take that position. So, I think we have to look at the record of Ms. Carpenter all around.
How many days has it been since you have not had contact with her? How many days?
Since she left last week.
So last week. And
Yep.
you said that after 3 days, the rules are to terminate them if they don't contact
That
you.
I can ask for termination.
And are you asking for termination?
I would ask that you take my letter as her request that she quit.
I think we've already, excuse me, but I think we've already voted on this, and I don't know where further discussion is going to take it. I don't know where this leaves us. This is uncharted waters for someone to resign but not being able to have that accepted. So, I think it has to stand. We voted on it, but I don't know where it puts us.
I think you're right. I think that by Robert's rules, you can't vote on the same issue twice in one meeting.
We could have a motion to reverse, but that, I don't think anyone's prepared to make that motion.
So at this point in time, you are willing to go forward to not have to pay out a pay to an employee that's not here, that's not working, and then have my office short-staffed and unable to fill.
I can't hear you. I think we already voted. I don't know that we can change it.
Well, I voted to support this resignation, so I'll put a motion on to rescind the last vote, if there's a second for that,
I'll second it, just,
to get it on the table.
and so I guess what the motion asks for is for a new vote on accepting the resignation, is that correct?
Yes. Well, Mike is to rescind the first vote.
You want to call for a vote on that?
So a motion for a new vote on the resignation of Candace Carpenter,
To rescind the.
to rescind
to
the
pull back
the first vote
Yep.
of Candace
Okay.
Carpenter's
Pull back.
resignation.
Vote to pull back the
That's
first one.
been moved and seconded.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the first vote has been rescinded.
So, to answer your question, Lisa, I suppose that two of us feel strongly enough to allow Ms. Carpenter to be on the payroll until we gather further information.
And how long is the further information? The
I'm
longer I-
I'm not prepared to give you that answer
Okay,
today.
because again, I'm going to quote, I think there is an opinion and I think there is a ruling that I have the appropriate means to hire and fire anyone that is in my employment, and also to accept a resignation. And the longer I do not fill a position, then we're going to get into a situation that I do not want to be in.
I'm sorry?
I said the longer that we do not fill a position within my office with work, then we're going to get into a situation that I do not want to be in with this board.
Thank you. No.
I think what has happened is it's off the table now, but we can have a new
For
vote.
clarification on the minutes, did you vote on that last motion, Commissioner Ames?
Yes, I voted no.
Okay.
Or I voted not to. Yeah, I don't think she actually didn't call for a no vote, right?
Yes, she did.
Oh, she did. I voted no.
Okay, so the last motion should be reported as a 2-1 in favor of rescinding the prior motion. 2-1 in favor of rescinding the prior motion. So it stands at this point with a resignation that's not been acted on.
Okay.
Right.
We have a question.
Clarification. Since your next commissioners meeting won't be until after this, are we paying her out? Are we paying her a paycheck?
We didn't vote on, we're voting on a resignation next.
Okay, I just
So
want
we
to
need
be
to
sure.
have
Somebody-
I'll address this.
So we're going to re-vote on the resignation? Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
if we rescinded it, we have to deal with it.
All right.
Should we do that?
What
now
I-
or the other ones?
I would like to make a statement first.
Shouldn't we have a motion before we have discussion?
Yeah, probably.
We should have-
All right.
So
We have to deal with this, if we have a motion, then we can discuss the issue under the motion.
So we need a motion to accept the resignation again. I'm really confused too,
Okay.
so.
No, you're back to where you were.
Right, in the beginning.
In the beginning.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so motion to accept the resignation of Candace Carpenter.
I so move.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All those
Well,
in
no,
favor?
no, no, discussion.
Oh,
Now we're
okay.
going to have the
Okay.
discussion, okay?
We have a motion on the floor, so we can have discussion.
Gotcha.
Again, Candace asked to be reconsidered. I respect that you have the authority to hire and fire in that office. But I also think we have an employee worth saving. And if she is not called back to your office, normally we would have a period of time, this is a compromise, if you will. Normally we would have a period of time where we would not rehire someone and honor their pensions and things like that. I would like to, in this instance, waive that requirement. So if we can find another position for her, if indeed you don't want her back or she doesn't want to go back to you, whatever the case might be, that we could hopefully place her in another position within the county without a waiting period. And that is my compromise that I'm offering.
But that's not a motion on the floor, so.
It's not a motion on the floor, but that's why I wanted to discuss it before the motion. I wanted an understanding that that is what I'm requesting. And I think we can still discuss it even though the motion's been made.
You also have, if I may add, you also have that ability to rehire at any time, just by taking action to rehire. You know,
And-
I understand your comment is you're putting it on the record that way.
Yes.
But someone can resign, and the very next week you can rehire them. You have that ability.
Even though we have a policy that we don't do that, but
I have a compromise, and it would mean Commissioner Phillips would have to withdraw his motion. But I would suggest that we have a motion then, if we can, that we accept her resignation in the Clerk of Courts for Thonotari's office, and that we seek to find her a position somewhere else in the county. due to circumstances. So,
Who would replace?
Commissioner Phillips would have to withdraw his motion if he cares to. If not, we can vote on it.
Who would replace her in that department?
We
That's a
don't know that.
different issue.
That's it, yeah, we don't know that.
It would have to be advertised, and she would interview and hire.
I don't know, I understand what you're trying to accomplish, but I don't know how we can make a statement that we are gonna hire someone in another department when it's the other departments are gonna have that choice to make in terms of their own hiring. I think we're getting into grounds that are maybe overreaching, and I'm not really comfortable with doing that. I think if somebody resigns, we need to accept that, and then we need to have that person, if they want to reapply, that would be the course that would be, more customary.
Well, I'm even willing to go that route, providing she's given the opportunity to reapply to other
Well,
for other
that's what I
positions.
was,
All employees who resign absolutely have the right to reapply for any county positions in the future. Even those that are terminated have the right to apply.
Right.
So that is certainly
Would you
something possible for candidates.
Would you be comfortable reaching out to Candace and ask her if she would like to apply for other positions as they occur, or would you prefer I do that?
I can either or, sir. Basically, any employee, when they leave employment, I explain that to them, that they do have the right to reapply for county positions in the future. Just because they left one county position does not mean that they would not be considered for another. So she
All right.
absolutely has that right, and I can convey that to Candy again.
All right, I don't need to have that in a motion, then I'm prepared to vote on the motion on the floor.
Ma'am, do you have a comment? You're standing.
No,
That's
I'm
what I
just
was
waiting for my
wondering.
decision.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Now, we heard all the political BS and the Robert's Rules of Order BS. Now, as the lone representative of the taxpayers and the general public, year after year, Jamie, in 50 words or less, what's going on? I want to know.
I'm gonna defer to the commissioners on that. I don't have an action on this. You're asking me to,
As you know, you and I are not on speaking terms anymore just because of this very action. Not this action, because of the secrecy underneath this roof and a lot of other roofs in Lebanon County, which I have dedicated my life to abolishing. So now I want to hear an explanation. What's going on?
I'm gonna defer to the commissioners.
What's going on, man?
They're the ones taking action.
Commissioner,
Litz?
do you want to address it?
What's
Oh.
going on?
well, we had an employee who tendered a resignation. She asked us to reconsider it, and I was trying to find a way to honor that request and also respect her position.
Okay? I worked a long time, so about 60 years, not 60 years, but anyhow, and I came out of the Teamsters Union. Retired out of the Teamsters Union. When you quit, when you handed your resignation in, that was final. You were getting back. That's the way corporate America operates. Mr. Phillips, am I correct? That's the way they operate.
Sounds familiar.
When you, if you're going to tell somebody, and it has happened, I've seen it over the years happen in the heat of the moment. Everybody has. I think it worked in corporate America. Somebody gets angry. I'm quitting. I'm quitting right now. Okay, you quit. That's over. It's over. It's as simple as that. Now, I can't see what the argument is here. Now you want to bring her back and put her in another position. I don't think that bodes too well for your decisions. Even your working staff, now the rest of the employees, they look at it and say, well, if I quit one place, I can go another place. And Ames, are you a big fan of this, Miss Carpenter? It sounds like it.
Not particularly, no. I have issues with the circumstances behind this resignation. So
Well, what are the circumstances behind it?
It's personnel, we don't.
that's a personnel issue.
Ah, once again, Jamie, look at Jamie laughing. Him and I had a
Because I know
business
your
argument.
action. I know
He
your
would send me a letter. You see, right now I'm trying to uncover the same thing at Cornwall Lebanon School District, a giant cover-up. And that's what we have here, once again, Ames. I come to these meetings year after year, and all I want to do is be informed, but every time I get shut out. Now, I'd like to know. I've been paying taxes in this county for about 60 years. My people have been here for over 200. I think I got a right to know. What's going on?
It's not like
Personnel issues.
Ah,
They're
personnel
gonna
issues.
allow her to
Executive
reapply
session.
immediately. We did
Executive
have a waiting
session.
period.
But it seems to me
of
like you're a big
year,
fan,
but
like I
we're
say, a
gonna
big
wait.
fan of this Miss Carpenter. You wanna go to the ends of wherever to make sure she gets back. You know what, Ames, what I would like to see? 2 weeks before Christmas, when you people threw 42 dedicated dietary workers at Cedar Crest out the back door like so much garbage, they weren't given much consideration, were they either? Or they could reapply too and go back to zero. That still sticks in my craw and a lot of other people's craw in this county. We didn't give them much consideration either, but boy, this woman's getting a lot of consideration, and I don't know this woman.
We did give those folks all, and we're still giving those folks positions.
They've been, a lot of them went into other positions within Cedar Haven.
You know, that's not true,
And
Mr.
some-
Bromdick. It is not true.
Some went into
It's
the
not true.
culinary.
Yes, it is. Ames, I've been here long before you have. Believe me, I have.
I know.
But all I'm asking, what happened? Everybody's sitting here and they're wondering, well, what's happening here? We hear a lot of political, like I say, talk, but nobody knows what really happened. Everybody's curious. But like I'm saying in the first place, if she resigned, she quit, then she quit. She's out of here. Go get a job at Cedar Haven. Oh no, that's Connie, that's right. Go get a job at McDonald's, I don't care. That's all I got to say on it.
Okay.
Call the question.
Okay.
He says call the question, he's asking for it to be for a vote, to be put for a vote.
The motion to accept the resignation of Ms. Carpenter.
Okay, motion to accept the resignation of Ms. Carpenter.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Thank you.